Hello! So, got another request here today. This was to see Angel's Lego against, well, there was a whole list of other things, but you know what? Screw it. It's going against my Lego thing. Apparently he had built this thing, or he or Nightmare or somebody had built this thing out of Legos on the left here. When they were a kid, I had built this thing on the right out of Legos as well. Called it the Killer Tuna for some unknown reason. I don't really remember why. I think it vaguely reminded me of a fish, but generally kind of put it together. So with his, it's very close to the Infinity actually, but it's a reasonably armored midweight, blade, laser rifle, tri-missiles, and rockets, with extension missiles as well. Mine is 9 burst missiles with extensions, a grenade cannon, a shield, a chain gun, and an EO gun. So alright, let's see how this goes. Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird thing. Like, when I was putting this thing together, it was this situation where my brother and I had essentially rented AC-1 multiple times, and all I could remember was the tank legs and a bunch of guns all over everything because, well, we were renting it, we were paying money for it, so, you know, the time that I actually got to test it out wasn't very frequent, other than when my brother and I would play, and it was one of these funny situations where, you know, he was always the one playing, and 9 times out of 10 I would end up winning in multiplayer, but at any rate, basically I just wanted to, you know, to go put something together, so I just go to my friggin' Lego pile every time I see it, and just from the other room, like, we basically had 2 rooms next to each other, so I'm just looking at this thing from, like, from my doorway. I have my little Lego table right there. Like, okay, you know, I can sort of make those legs there. It kind of look like these legs. I'm like, okay, I remember grenade cannons, so I'm gonna put that on there. Probably machine guns. Everything needs machine guns, right? So it was just funny. So one of those times I even got to the point where I got into a bit of a frenzy on making them, and well, was even offered to go and play, and I was like, no, hold on, I'm putting them together from back here. But at any rate, so far looks like Angel's Lego's winning. Both are pretty good in terms of cooling, both are pretty well rounded. Mine's kind of lacking in accuracy because, you know, this was put together by a friggin' 8-year-old or whatever I was at the time. Let's see. I think it was around 8 at the time. Just so you know, they're AIs. It's kind of a balanced kind of thing for Angel's Lego. Generally pretty close to what Mobius was using. Again, just due to a very similar build. And then with mine, it's more towards offense, less towards defense, and then both of them have about halfway on tracking. Both of them have nearly maxed out weapon handling, maxed out energy and cooling, and I do believe the Killer Tune is winning this one. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I had this whole like Lego game that I set up because I used to do this babysitting thing for somebody that was slightly younger than me. So I had this whole thing set up where, you know, we'd put together different mechs and all that, and we'd just basically roll dice for how many, I think it was like sets of 4 inches they could move around the room, and like roll dice for how many shots they can take, and then we'd just use like pencils and markers and stuff to symbolize like lasers and bullets and missiles, and he would always cheat by making the thing into a brick. But then after a while I was like, no, it has to actually have internals or else the thing will just overheat and explode. How about that? I don't think that was the actual logic. I think it was something like, well, nobody can breathe in there, or something along those lines. Remember I had some sort of excuse that he wasn't allowed to cheat using just brick strats. But yeah, it was fun. So we'd make like ACs and MTs, and once I got into AC 2 and 3, it just got even crazier. And it was good times. But yeah, seriously, if you've got like a big old Lego set, you've got stuff to make robots out of it, try that sort of thing. So it's like 4 inches per one thing on the dice, and then it's, I think it was like 1 shot per each thing on there, and It was just basically assigned a cost of like, it was 3 for missiles, 1 for any kind of bullets, or 2 I think for just about anything else, blade or whatnot. But the blade sucked because I had this. Well, didn't really have an understanding of how to put together some sort of laser blade type situation. Oh, looks like. Well, Angels Lego won that one. Fine then. But no, like it was a thing where for missiles I would use like 3 unsharpened pencils, if I recall correctly. And for rockets it was like a Sharpie, and for bullets it was just marbles, because apparently I didn't understand physics. Then just had this large one, this large marble that I occasionally used for missiles instead, just depending on what I could find at the time. And it was awesome, like, limbs would get blown off, parts would get blown off. And I had this rule going where you could put a limb back on if you used, if you put a specific type of Lego in there and you just stored it somewhere in one of the weapon pod things. There wasn't really any rule for what could go where. I'm testing the completely wrong thing. I'm an idiot. Okay, I think it's still 1v1 then, because I think I tested the wrong thing that other time too. And getting lost on a tangent here. Alright, we'll assume it's 1v1, or 1-1 so far then. I got lost in my own stupidity. My bad. Whatever, I assume this isn't going to be one of the ones that anybody ends up, like, truly looking for down the line for mascots or whatever, so... On with this incompetence train. Man, I still haven't seen that guy from yesterday who was putting together Damon and SL. I seriously want to know what he did to train that thing. God, now I want to go break out the Legos again. Except I gave my huge Lego collection to my niece, so... Funny, my wife got me this this collection of a couple Lego sets a while ago, because they kept rambling on at the store, like, man, I miss Legos, those things were awesome. Like, got me a couple of these Lego kits. Like, shut up and play with your Legos. Alright, this could still go either way. I'm liking how close these guys are. I'm gonna have to say, mine is definitely not optimized to be a tank, but... it is what it is. And, you know, I wish the AI would just use his dang EO guns. It's set for maximum offense, so I don't know why he's not using them. Or actually, no, his AI tendency is this defensive, his weapon handling's all the way up, that's what I mean to say. Weapon handling and attack strategies. Although, now thinking back on one thing that Azor told me months ago, I think if you set their offensive tendencies a bit higher, they're more likely to use it. Set it all the way up, they just have it out all the time. Feels like a almost that's what she said joke there, right there. Look at that spazzy fire. Fire all the bullets. Oh wow. The last minute comeback here. Nice. Okay. Well, there we go. So, potentially either a 2-2 or a 2-1 right now. I think it's a... seriously, I'm just rambling on for ages there. Oh, I think as an extra I'm gonna have to have this thing fight, Dr. What's-His-Face? Eagle! Wait, the wrong one. Yes, Meow, what's going on down there? Being a cat? Wait. How hard will it be to find a bird wearing a Lego crown, is what I wonder. If you're watching this and don't know what the joke is, for some reason with every one of Royals, they decided to make him a bird wearing a hat of some sort. Last time it was a teacup drinking an Orange Julius cup. I think that this one, I'm gonna have to find one wearing a Lego hat somehow. There has to be one out there somewhere, and there's plenty of kids with parakeets. It's possible. I'd say it's definitely possible. thing's got some friggin' go to it, though. This, his Lego. Not doing a fantastic job dodging, that's for sure, but... yeah. Did he say to swap something out? No, that was the other one that didn't have rockets. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we're gonna call it 1 for 1 here, I think. Because again, I know I've said it a billion times now, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Going off on tangents, forgetting what I'm doing. Actually, you know what? No. Pre-fight warm-up. You're fighting that thing. Dr. Siegel! Apparently the colors... no, wait. Color scheme for this one was apparently based off... I think he said like a Power Rangers thing or something? Lord, I've forgotten already. But, yeah, something like that. One of those old robot toys. Despite their weight differences, I honestly think I see this one going to Dr. Siegel. There's a pretty big discrepancy in terms of AP, but he's just way more dodgy. Alright. Also, the funny thing is, this LEGO thing actually prompted a remake of the Infinity, because in the process of building it, I may or may not have completely ripped Mobius a new one, so he actually got remade to be better. See how that goes. So many pew-pews. Well, yeah, Siegel's winning it, so far anyway. I mean, comparatively speaking, he's taken off a lot more AP, and... yeah, you start off with a 2,000 deficit. He's completely evened that up at this point. Thing's having a hard time dodging those multis. So that rifle's... oh, crap. That cut almost bounced it. Love those small rockets. So friggin' good. Funny, because they get written off so often, but the sheer DPS on that crap is ridiculous. Okay, so just like, one shot of a difference. So, yeah, Dr. Siegel, still a really good lightweight. Now, for the finale. And/or redemption match, if I actually did put the Killer Tuna in that other one. Oh, this is a fair match. Yeah, this is totally fair. Facing a tank in a parking garage. Though, to be fair, unlike the other parking garage, at least this one has room. Alright. Yeah, there we go. There we go, Colorful Butt. This is, that's definitely the way to go about this. Take on a tank head on. Yep. Come on, AI, you can do better. You can potentially beat the tune. Oh, crap, man. It's a fair match, but I think this map might have decided it. Maybe I'll give it one more just for good measure. I'd say these two are pretty dang matched, pretty dang closely matched. Ouch. Yeah, that was a complete crush. Actually, speaking of that reminded me, the other day was all hopeful. I went and saw one of TBM's videos, and, well, he started switching over... oh, wrong one. They started switching over to the, Last Raven Portable thing. And so he had gotten a request on there that was to have one of the Versus ACs fight one of the other Versus ACs. And I got so hopeful for a second that there was a Versus mode in Lost Raven that I missed all these years, and no. LRP, I mean. And no, there isn't one. It was actually just, original LR. They didn't put in Versus mode. Honestly, must have played AC3's Versus mode more than the actual game. Like, when you get to the point where you're actually legitimately trying to win a 3 Kaisers versus yourself fight, you know you might have played that game too much. Okay, and I think the game is just hell-bent on dicking over this poor LEGO guy. Give you both close-range maps at once. But to be fair, I guess this one is reasonable enough. Because my guy's got some serious tracking and accuracy issues. It's actually funny. These arms are the closest thing I could find, but the main kit that I was using to put together my mechs and stuff at the time, there was this Mega Bloks thing. Those just 2 different ones. One of them was this like ninja guy. The other one, stereotypical ninja guy anyway. But I don't think we're counting on Legos for historical accuracy. But there was a stereotypical ninja guy and a wolf thing, and then a knight and a lion. And it was just it was kind of like a giant mech plus sort of Zoid type of daily. And yeah, repurposed those to everything. And the thing that I always ended up using for the shoulder pads was this thing that the ninja had. There was these little flappy dealies that always went around the arms. And it's actually funny, when we were doing our LEGO game thing, they did a pretty darn good job of actually protecting the arms from getting blown off, because usually just like a couple marbles or whatever hitting it in the joint would just pop it right out of the socket. To give you an idea, yes, this did absolutely annihilate the parts in several cases. They did break. But most of them actually survived to this day, so... And some of them did break, but by and large, they would usually get their internals like, blown off first, or they would get their legs blown off. Usually they got kneecapped and just wound up crawling along the floor. You know, almost always the head got blown off until I started putting them into the core. Which was a little bit of a mind-blowing thing when I finally saw that happen in AC. I was like, oh my god, they were in the core the whole time, they weren't in the head. So I always thought that lightweight AC in AC3 was, well, was just kind of going autonomously, but there you go. There you go. I think by either map tomfoolery or just general stuff my tank ended up with. But either way, just a showcase of Angel's LEGO thing here. If anyone else has stuff that they built out of Legos when they were a kid, you know what? Let me know. I want to make a tournament out of this crap. So, I think there's like 4 or 5 people that watch this, so, other than that, yeah. Just, I guess, write a comment if there's something you want to see, and I'll make it happen. Have a good one.